How should we start?
Well, we could have started the conversation we just had. Rewind.
I don't even, well, the problem is I can't remember how that conversation started.
You said.
Oh, that's right. I'm going to learn HTML in
That's right.
5
And
months.
I said, really?
And I said, no, I'm not. I was being facetious.
And I said, good on you, Ed, taking initiative.
I got a congratulations from cousin too, I believe.
Yeah, congratulations, Ed. Nice work.
There we go.
There you go. And then yeah, I
And
think
then
you
dogs eating shit.
No, you said
Yeah.
it's either we expect something brilliant or dog shit. I think is what you said. And then
I was using my creativity.
And then I said dog shit would be easier. And then we acknowledged that I had still had a dog. And then we're talking about how that dog
do
was.
you?
Yes, I do.
A dog.
How much easier it would be for the dog to shit
It's a shit, yeah.
than you learn HTML.
And we could get the dog shit. And because I got 2 cats, we could make a cat shit sandwich with the dog shit in the middle.
That being said, dog shit's easier to clean up than cat shit. Cat shit is terrible.
I told you, just get the scoopy bit and scoop it up. What are you feeding them? Chicken satay?
I don't know. I don't feed them. I feed the dogs. The cats are not my problem.
Prerogative.
Yes.
Oh dear, poor
Yeah,
cats.
the problem of other people's that aren't me.
Well, hello
Well,
everyone.
there's 5 of them.
This is the what?
There's 5 cats. You know we have 5 cats.
I knew you had a lot, but I didn't realize it was 5. This is the In the Bread podcast. Today we have the all-natural Nuggsy,
Hi.
the climactic cousin,
Hello.
and the dead of all dead Ed, and no Arnwood. So we've got
Yeah.
one cousin replaced with another cousin.
You weren't prepared for cousin, were you?
No.
No
You
one
didn't have
ever is.
anything to say.
Neither the women. That's why they always had that surprised look when they're jousted with the magnificent weapon.
Oh, mate.
Yes. And we don't know what's happened to Arnwit. Apparently he had something to do. He's been having a lot of dinner dates on Tuesdays. He's saying it's with work, but speculating.
I think he's dead.
Dead? I reckon homosexual
Dead.
relationship.
With a homeless man.
With
It
a
only
hom-
makes sense.
Yeah.
Why else would you do it at night time?
At night time. Interesting.
That's right. We've caught on, Leba, even though you're not listening to this, because you definitely wouldn't listen to the podcast again.
I've
You know, we
written
could say whatever we wanted
about him.
about Leba. Yeah, you'd
As-
never hear it.
I've actually was going to write a complete list of things, of allegations I was going to put about Levitt, towards about Levitt today. And because he's not here to confirm nor deny, we have to take it solely on truth.
Okay.
But I didn't.
Do you have that list? Oh, you don't have one?
I was going to write it throughout the process of the podcast.
I mean, you could have just said, I have this list here, ruffled some paper, and then gone, on today's... Oh, I ripped my invoice. On today's agenda,
I had
we have licking dog penis.
truth about Lever. He's really.
How do you...
What?
How do you respond to those claims, Leber? Oh, no objections. Oh, I say next agenda 2. And then nobody would know.
Well, I'm starting to write them down now, but
Okay.
the paper that you heard just then from you had an invoice. Mine was I booked tickets for Georgie and me for a flight up to Brisbane.
When for?
We're moving there. No,
Yay.
we're going there
yay.
for about 4 or 5 days. Georgie is doing it because she's doing a course in child play therapy, which is just what it sounds. It's therapy for children while they play.
Use foreplay.
What?
Oh gosh, not with kids.
Oh, mate. At least wait till they're over the age of 12.
I'm
No,
sorry.
Don't be disgusting. Yuck. So she wanted me to come, so we got an Airbnb, we got the tickets, so she's going to be doing that for 3 or 4 days, and I'm just going to be traveling around Brisbane, checking out the sights and sounds, stuffing my gut full of food, and I don't know, talking to the locals and seeing how racist they really are.
Sounds pretty good.
See all the inbred families.
Well, apparently,
When are you going?
early March, and we've got our hotel. Sorry, our Airbnb is in an apartment right in the middle of the city, so we can pretty much go wherever we need to go, which is good.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's gonna be fun.
Was it pricey?
The airline tickets cost more than the damn Airbnb.
Well, how much did they cost?
Return trips for 2 people, $300.50.
With Jetstar?
That was with Jetstar through Webjet,
Wow.
and that was the
That's
cheapest.
expensive.
That was for 2 people return.
2 people return $65 each, and then so that's like, it was something like whatever, 65 plus 65, what's that, 130, so that was 260. And then they throw in everything else like actually, what was it? It was like processing fees, transaction fees,
Processing fees.
everything else that, the stuff. I'm sure they make this stuff up. 10% on top.
Yeah.
And I know you guys know that, but the people on the podcast don't know. But I bought a new motherboard and CPU, which
Oh, you bought it already?
it's already been bought. Yep, it's actually
Okay.
waiting for me at the warehouse at the moment, or at the company. That $300.
Where'd you get them from?
mwave.com.au.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that I was going to have a problem with the RAM because I've got DDR3 and I need DDR4.
Yes.
And the money which I was going to use to buy the DDR4 RAM was just put in for the airplane tickets. So right now, I have no money to have any RAM installed. So I have this high-end motherboard and
Oh, if you need,
CPU.
I'll lend you some money. Just pay back whenever.
No, I never borrow money. Leber offered as well, and I almost took him up on it, but I was like, no, I never ever borrow money.
But this
Sweet.
is to help set you up.
Yeah, I know.
You'll get more streams.
That's right.
More
And
streets.
you don't have an excuse.
Oh
You don't
man,
have excuses anymore.
Yeah, none at all.
I don't need excuses, but what I do need is a nice computer.
You need money.
This 24-hour stream that you
Take
keep.
my money. No interest.
Well, the main thing I wanted to get also was a solid state drive.
Ooh, yes.
That
Yeah,
is
that's very important.
one thing I've always wanted to get. So at the end of the
Not
day,
too bad.
this computer is going to cost me around about $2,500 to $3,000.
About
Well,
like
that's what mine costs, but mine's on the higher scale of the PC market.
Well, I hope mine
Not
is
over
too.
the top. It's not over the top,
I made
but it's pretty. What graphics? Oh, did you find out if your card's under warranty?
Interesting thing. The graphics card is okay. My guess is just a loose connection. I put in my old graphics card and things went back to normal. So then I put it back in, and it seemed to be okay.
Okay.
Oh, that was scary.
Just be careful with that because I'm pretty sure I was having that issue with my 970
Yeah.
where things would start to go haywire, and I'd switch it out for my 660, and then I'd get the shits with using the 660 because I had a what I assumed perfectly good 970 laying around, and I'd put that back in to start working fine again.
Yeah.
But then later on, I start to get problems.
Interesting. Well, right now it's okay. This is the funny thing. I ordered it on January the 26th, 2017.
Yes.
That's when I ordered it.
26th. Right.
The problems happened on January the 28th, 2018. 2 days after I ordered it. But I was looking through my list of everything that I'd done when I bought it through, again, mwave, and I remember I got these emails saying, sorry about the delay, we'll try and get this product to you as soon as possible. And then I remembered it took them about a week for them to actually give me the graphics card because they had some delay that they were very ambiguous about. And then eventually, after ordering it, about a week later, they sent an email saying, look, it's here, it's arrived, you can come collect it. But looking over the warranty information, the warranty booklet says for the graphics card that the warranty begins on the date of purchase. So that week that I didn't have it, doesn't matter. I lose a week of warranty because the bastards over at M-Wave took their sweet ass time to get me my graphics card.
Right, but you're not out by a week, are you?
No, I was out by 2 days.
Oh.
If it had been from the date of me picking it up, I still would have had 3-4 days to return.
But you didn't call it? Like, you didn't contact them about it?
Well, there's no issue now.
Hmm.
But then Lebus said I should check the warranty to see if it's just a 1 year or a 2 year or what it is.
Because I think you may have been fine with those 2. May have been fine with those 2 days. I don't know.
Not to jerk off a rabbit, but
Why not?
because they're very small and they run very fast. And they do.
Think of it as milking a cow.
I got no issue with the actual action. It's the actual
Okay.
grabbing them and getting them to stay still for long enough. That I'm
Get a carrot.
get a carrot. I tried that as well.
Your penis doesn't count.
I painted it orange. I gave it a little green. I dyed the pubic hair green to give it that kind of the top of the carrot look, and then
But then do you have like the rest of your body? You would have had to disguise the rest of your body.
I buried the rest of my body underground, and I had a little straw
Okay.
poking out from my mouth.
Did
Cousin,
that thing where he lies
So
down
you
and
didn't feel a nibble at all? Nothing?
what was that, cousin? Did that thing where I was lying down.
lie down in the sand and people put sand to cover it. And you just see this orange thing sticking up out of the ground.
Kids start kicking it. Oh fuck!
Look, it's a basketball.
But you wouldn't know it was kids.
You're right. The dog comes along, bites it, tries to pull it off. Jeez. That was
What if you're a
really
really frisky dog.
that was a bad summer for me. I guess it was my fault for trying to catch rabbits at the beach, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez. Ah, water everywhere.
Yeah, that's not gonna help.
Well, that's true.
You could catch some crabs.
I did when I was a kid. Not intentionally either. I must have been about 7 or 8, maybe even older, 9 or 10. I'm gonna go at 8 or 9. 8 or 9, and we were digging. I was with my older brother, and we were digging in the sand at the beach, and I saw this thing.
Wait, older brother?
Yeah, well, this is when my older brother was my older brother and not my older
Okay.
sister. I saw this thing in this. I dug a hole and there was this thing poking out. I was like, "What's that? A bit of plastic?" And I went to pick it up, and it was this crab, and it went with its little claws. After I picked it up, because I didn't realize what it was, scared the hell out of me, and I dropped it, and it went back into the hole. And I was like, "Okay, you're gonna cover that up and leave that poor little crab alone."
That reminds me of last year, I think, when I was working in Port Macquarie.
You got crabs?
Close.
Okay. Oh, jeez.
I was walking along the beach with my cousin and his mate, because I was working with them.
Wait, cousin or your cousin?
My cousin.
There's only one cousin.
My
me.
other cousin.
Okay, sorry.
My non-cousin. And we found these holes in the sand.
And you fucked him. Sorry.
Yeah, and it was really painful because there were crabs in them.
Oh.
But
Okay.
they were they were fishing it, so they kept digging up these holes.
Who did? Your cousin.
My cousin and his mate to find these crabs,
All right.
and his mate just wanted to find the crabs. My cousin wanted to take them back and eat them.
If it's a proper crab to eat, then yeah, you can do
They
that.
weren't proper crabs though.
Oh, okay, then cousin's an idiot.
So we ended up taking back like 2 or 3 of these crabs. They sat in a sink of tap water, which is meant to like help flush them out of all the junk and stuff.
Drown them. There's a lot of bacteria and shellfish and all types of marine
And that
life.
was it. They sat in the sink in this water.
Yeah.
And they died. And they sat there for so long that there was no point cooking them. He killed crabs for no reason.
That's terrible.
It
What a
is. They would
horrible
have
person.
suffered in that fucking sink.
How dare you confuse me with that guy?
Oh man. I
I
think,
think he was asking me to give him something, so he could carry the crabs back. I was like, no, get fucked. I'm not a party to this. I told him not to do it. Fucking idiot.
were they big crabs or just like
No, they were like.
little crabs?
I'm trying to think of something that you can. Like, I want to say the palm of your hand. It was probably maybe.
Try a unit of measurement.
You know that the portion of your hand underneath your thumb, that paddy, fleshy bit, that little where the
Yeah.
line goes across and down towards your wrist.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was probably about the size of that.
What the hell? That's like a hermit crab.
I know. It was literally pointless.
Let's
There was
kick-
no point to it.
Let's kick this guy's ass. How dare he kill little crabs?
You wouldn't have got any meat off them. They didn't even eat them. They died, assuming painfully, in their own vomit.
That's how I want to go. That's not true. Yes, you've been a very annoying cat tonight.
Oh yeah, so what happened with your cats? You said they were making a ruckus.
Oh, they've both been very crazy tonight. They're just not letting me have a quiet moment. And we have you know this, Nuggsy. We've had a slight issue recently with ants in our bathroom.
Oh yes.
Heaven
Still
only
there, I
knows.
assume.
They've come and gone. And right now they were more gone than come. And all of a sudden,
Right.
tonight they've decided that if we left like any remnants of the wet cat food out after the cats eat them, there's always a little bit that gets knocked off onto the floor, and they don't eat it. If there's anything left, they will find it, and they will be all over that by the morning time. There'll be hundreds of thousands of them. So,
Surely there's a way to deter ants that doesn't kill.
well, this is it. You make sure there's no food around for them to eat. That's the easiest.
Right,
way.
but that's it. I mean, it's the easiest and yet the most complex because you can't always control that thing all the time.
Anyway, tonight I discovered that they have now taken interest in their dry food, and there were hundreds of them all over the dry
Yeah,
food
I've
bowl.
had that issue before with the dog food.
So,
It's only ever happened once.
yeah,
I had never ever seen it before, and I haven't seen it again since.
it's really
I
weird.
don't. I couldn't make sense of it either.
Must be a desperation thing because there mustn't be any other
Maybe.
food. So, today, at night time, after I fed the cats and discovered this,
Did you kill a couple and stick them up on toothpicks to ward off the rest?
No. There's a little bit more interesting than that.
Oh,
It-
I thought
it-
that was pretty interesting.
It required a public display
Oh,
by my part. I got a colander, a metal colander with the very fine holes, and I was like, okay. And I got the food bowl with ants crawling all over it. Getting ants crawling up my wrist. I'd come out of the shower by this point, so I put on my dressing gown. I had a cat bowl. It was like a dual cat bowl, so it's got two holes in it. In one hand, covered in ants, and the colander in the other hand. I went outside to the grass, and I pour all the cat food I can into the colander, and I drop the cat bowl onto the grass, and say, okay, let the ants just go along their merry way. Got all the ants off me, and then I was like a chef preparing a salad. Or no, I'm just trying to think I was like flinging the cat food into the air and recatching it into this colander, thinking all the ants are going to go through the holes while the cat food remains in place.
no.
And it didn't work out as well as I'd hoped, but
That's a terrible idea.
But I did get most of them off by some strange turn of events. But then
Right.
someone walked past the front of my house, and I realized at that moment that they were watching a man in a black satin dressing gown, probably naked underneath, with a thing with a colander of brown pellets. Heavens only knows what they could be.
Wait, was this the front lawn?
Yeah, the front garden.
What were you doing at the front?
Because the dog's out the back, and if I've got the dressing gown on, it will lick my legs. So I was flicking. Trust me, she's trained very well.
That's a good time.
So I was flicking this damn cup, and then I realized what I was
What do you
doing.
think I'd do every time I was there?
Oh, sorry. What?
Get going.
So I was doing this, realized what I was doing. I stopped. I managed to actually get most of the food, if not all the ants, off by some grace of God. And I took it inside and I put it in a separate, single, small bowl that has now got a a small saucer underneath it filled with water, which is probably the greatest way to stop ants from eating anything. But
Actually, when we used to have an outside cat, we used to get those bowls with the little lip on the outside that you would fill up with water to deter ants.
I know. I just haven't seen him forever.
And neither have I. I don't. I'm sure. I mean, they surely exist somewhere, but
You'd hope
yeah,
so.
I don't know. It's probably not a fashionable thing to have, so that's probably why it's not as common.
It seems more practical than stylish, but you know what? I'm a man of practicality.
No, I agree. That's what I mean. Like, it caters more to the people who are. Look at my cat bowl.
Made from ivory.
Yes.
See,
It's
cousin's
illegal in 17 countries. Did you know that?
cousin's smart. He just doesn't have any pets. He's got no
Yeah.
responsibility. No,
He
no,
eats them instead.
no need to have to friggin' pay vet bills and cat food.
You
And
can
all.
go to Shab's house and not see an animal in sight.
Yeah, that's true.
But Shab's is always well fed.
The only animals, the ones in the fridge, sliced up
Yeah.
and ready to eat.
Yeah, or the one in my pants.
Oh, mate.
It has to be caged for everyone's safety.
Yeah.
What was I doing? I was in the middle of something. Oh yeah, you were talking about your plane ticket. So that plane ticket cost you 300,
Yeah, 300
which is
bucks.
interesting because that's state to state, right?
Yeah.
It is possible to fly from. I mean, it's somewhat understandable, but it's cheaper to fly from Manchester Airport to Copenhagen by $100.
I believe that. I believe that entirely. You know, yep, I believe it. I believe it. It's crazy world. No idea why this is the case, but it's been bought, and I'm sure as hell, knowing I didn't get any insurance, so I can't change it if I wish to.
Oh,
Yeah.
how much would that have set you back there?
$36.
1 sec.
I know. I had
That's the whole burger.
I know.
But that's like a full meal at a nice restaurant.
I know. This got me. I forgot. This is why I brought up the whole buying the things from M-Wave. Wait, did Nuggsy go?
Yeah. Give him a second.
Okay,
I'm guessing it's all over there.
he's gonna
You
go.
can tell me I'm here, Red.
Oh, thanks, mate. Well, I don't want to repeat it for Nuggsy, because yeah, he'll just have to listen to the podcast. So
I think he's back now. Yeah.
what?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Let's see. So what?
What's going on? What happened?
The reason why I brought up M-Wave and buying the new computer bits.
Oh yeah. Before we move on, the paper that I was rustling
Yeah.
was the invoice for the RAM that I was talking to you about.
Oh, the
I still have it on my desk.
you should just resell it if you can.
I don't have the original packaging though. Like it's,
I'll just put it on Gumtree.
I guess.
Just
I
like
don't know.
take $20 off of it. At least
I've been trying to throw it at people and just take it, and nobody wants it.
I would take it, but stupid fucking new thing is just won't take it. So
Yes, go on.
oh yeah, the reason why I brought it up, buying this whole thing through M-Wave, is that I came to paying the thing, and it's like, okay, I can do it through PayPal, easy. I can do credit card if I want to. Fine, that's okay. I can do that. What other options there are? Yada yada yada. BPay, which is done through over the phone with your bank, or
BPay.
yeah, BPay. It's bill pay, so you can pay your bills that
Do
way.
you not have online banking?
Yeah, no, I have online banking. But that's one way. You can do it over the phone or over
Okay.
the internet.
I've only ever done BPay online. That's the word I was
Me
looking for.
too. So I come to the end of the transaction. It's like, how do you want to pay? It's like, okay, I'll do it through PayPal. It's like 2% transaction fee. It's like, what? 2% transaction fee? That's almost $20. Okay, how much is it for
Yes.
credit card? It's like 1% transaction fee. 1%? They want to take 1% of my hard-earned cash? You fuckers! You greedy fuckers! That's my 1% that you're taking for a quote-unquote transaction fee. How much for BPay? No fees. Okay, so then I actually had to deposit some money into my bank, which was going to be used to pay for this. So I deposited the money walked home again. This is like an hour's outing because I don't have a vehicle, and Georgie only has it, so I had to walk all the way out there, put it in, come back, and do it that way. Do it through BPay, just because I was so stubborn. I wasn't going to give him my $20. What?
So you don't have any money at all that you can transfer into that's not in an account?
We have a separate account that's a high interest rate account, but that is there is a very strict rule that I employ on Georgie and myself very, very diligently, which is money goes in. We never, ever, under any circumstances, take it out, because that is our deposit money, and it's...
But,
there.
So you have two accounts, one that your deposit money and then your normal account. Do you guys share one? Or do you have two separate?
That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to create a joint account, but Georgie was very comprehensive about it because she knew that I'd be watching what she's wasted her money on. And I know that she does like to buy stuff.
So could she not... Were you using it... Were you trying to pay through your account or her account?
Through my account.
Could you not have potentially transferred the money from her account? Instead, that would have saved you walking to the bank.
Well, the money was the money. It was actual money that we were gifted. It was hard money.
Oh, okay.
Physical money.
That makes it harder, yeah.
It had to be deposited either way, so...
Yeah, so it just gave you a reason to do it.
Yeah. If anything, it motivated me to then go to...
Yeah, I have money laying around from odd jobs that I've done that I just... Because the banks... Well, my bank closes either at 4 or 4:30. I don't finish till 4. I don't have time to go to a bank afterwards and deposit something. I have to do it on a Saturday morning before they close at like 11 or 12 in the afternoon.
Crazy.
Or morning afternoon.
I discovered the bank...
So it just sits there.
The bank that my company banks with closes early on a Friday. I was like, what? Closes early?
I mean, it is a Friday, I guess.
I know, but why doesn't everyone just close early then?
That's true. Yeah. I can finish. Just close early on a Friday. I do that mentally, not physically.
Yeah. I think we all do.
Actually, for the first time in a long... and ever, I think. Because I got picked up. We're heading to the new shop.
Wait, hey. Sorry.
Not the good kind.
Oh.
The shitty kind I hate.
Okay.
Yeah, I meant that I kind of started it half an hour earlier, and because there was another guy on site that needed to be dropped off at 3, by the time we packed up and left, we had to go back because Jim forgot to close the door. By the time we packed up, left, came back, left again, it was like 20 to 4, so he dropped me off on the way home anyway. So I finished at work 20 minutes early. Because in a normal workplace, if you do overtime, that time is made up later on. Right? Usually.
Usually, yeah.
Yeah. If you start an hour early, you finish an hour earlier.
That would be ideal.
Yeah. It's never happened. Except for the other day, which wasn't intentional, but it was nice. I managed to get everything I usually do in the afternoon done before 5 o'clock. I was a happy chappy.
So you worked very hard by the sounds of it.
My dad says I do. I don't know if I do. I don't always feel like I do.
I drink very hard, but apparently you're not meant to put that on your resume.
Under what's it called? Skills. It's the one.
Hobbies and interests.
Interests, yeah.
Being sober from time to time, I guess.
Only from time to time.
Yeah. Ridiculous world.
Yes.
There has to be better jobs out there for people like us. A job where we just get to sit in a pub and drink a beer every day.
I'm sure there is. You just have to find them. I'm sure they're rare.
Yeah. So do I.
If you like wine, you can be a wine tester. Or whatever the fuck those people do.
Yeah.
You gotta be good.
Actually, I'd do it. Oh, this wine's horrible. Next one. Oh, this wine's horrible. What is this? A shit batch? Next one. That'd be a great wine taster. Has a hint of shit. Get out of my face.
It's gotta. You gotta. Oh my goodness, those wine tasters. It's a lot of. I don't even know how to. It's just a lot of knowing everything. It's like any job that you kind of have to do.
I suppose, but I wonder how much of that is bullshit.
True. It's like people. It's like restaurant reviewers.
Yeah.
It's like
Because
this.
it's all subjective, really, at the end of the day.
Yeah, true.
Oops, that's not what I wanted to do.
It's interesting because like I'm a avid user of Yelp. I love using Yelp, and I'll go to a restaurant and have a really bad time and not enjoy the food and really bad service, and then I'll go to do a review and there'll always be a 5-star review that's like amazing, best night of my life, great service, the food was always fresh and hot and just oh my goodness. And then I'll go to a restaurant and be like, this place is great, I can't wait to come back, I really can't, this is great. And then I'll go find the restaurant on the Yelps, and there'll be like someone there with a 1-star, and it's like, oh wow, they experienced the experience I had when I went to that restaurant and someone else had a great time.
Yeah.
And it's like, it is all subjective, or it's just bad, right place at the wrong time kind of deal.
Yeah. Yeah, he just could have been like a different employee at that time, or
something.
The other thing is that people can be really picky about eating out as well.
Especially
when it
Americans.
smells fishy. Because like it's the type, like you also have the people who get really what's the word?
Gator.
Like annoyed at the waiter and stuff. There's no need to. Like just because they're getting paid to be there doesn't mean you have the right to treat them like shit.
Well, it's like
That's not how that works.
It's like when people come to my store and they say this product's broken, it's your fault. It's like there's something wrong with it. It's like, well, I don't make it. If you've got an issue with the product, why didn't you call the company's customer care line and not us? We recommend the product and we supply it, but we don't make it ourselves, kind of deal. So same with the waiter. The waiter's just there to take the order, make sure the food comes out, make sure the chefs know that their table's been waiting for oh so long, and hurry it up, kind of deal. If that ever comes to it, and that's what a waiter does. But I've never complained to a waiter. Have either of you sent food back to the kitchen?
No.
I couldn't imagine doing it. I'd be terrified.
I wouldn't be terrified. I just like if you're going say you're going to somewhere like your not pub but like a leagues club or something, and you get schnitzel and it's
the RSL
subpar. Yeah. But like the kind of even the higher end of the RSL, it's like a leagues club, a proper leagues.
Okay, proper leagues club, radio.
And you get like a schnitzel, and it's not, it's all right. It's probably maybe a bit below average. It's still edible. It's not pink. It's not raw. Why would you bother? Go to like all the hassle to send it back. Like if you're going to those places, you're not expecting high class dining. It's the same people who go to Macca's and complain because their burger looks like crap.
Hey,
it's Macca's.
I complained once, but that's because they gave me the wrong burger.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Macca's,
They gave me a hamburger. I ordered a cheeseburger. It's an extra $2 for that slice of feckin' cheese. I want my fucking cheese. Okay.
Now it's $2 for the whole burger, I think.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
well, hamburger's $1, so it's $1 then for a slice of cheese. But I know what you mean. If it comes out raw or completely burnt, I think you have a reason then. But
yeah, like an actual legitimate reason, because that's a health issue at that point.
Or if there's a hair in it. Georgie's found a hair in a drink, and we've literally had the drink put down. It was a slushy actually. It was like a cocktail slushy. They put it down in front of us, and Georgie's like, "Oh, there's a hair there," and I was like, "Don't worry." And it was like 2 seconds after it was put down, I picked it up, went back, I said, "Look, there's a hair in here. It's a short black one. It's not one of mine. It's not my wife's. It's literally just been put down." And they said, "No worries. Sorry about that." Gave us a replacement, and we got a bonus dessert as well, so it worked out, which was good.
Well, that's how it should be handled. You don't make a big fuss over it. You say, "Hey, look, there's a hair here. Don't I appreciate the people are hairy. I'm hairy, but I don't really want other people's hair around me, especially in my food." And then they go, no worries, that they change it, replace it, whatever, and that's it, done.
I, I was once at a restaurant with my old band, and there was a hair on one of our meals that we got. It was like we ordered a whole bunch of stuff and we all kind of share kind of thing.
Yeah.
And there was a hair on one of those plates, and everyone was like, "Oh, that's kind of gross." And me being me, always trying to shock them, and I managed to actually got probably the most docile member of our band to actually respond in a way that I thought was impressive.
Please don't say you did what I think you meant.
I picked up the hair and I started to floss with it,
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's slightly worse than I was thinking.
and then I may have eaten it once I'd finished flossing.
Okay, that's what I thought you were going to say.
Oh, man.
And our guitarist looks at me, and this guy's the calmest dude. A bomb could go off next to his house, and he'd be like, "Yeah, oh, whatever." He looks at me and he goes, "There is something seriously wrong with you." I was like, I got a reaction from him. I got a reaction. But yes, there is something seriously wrong with me. But in all other circumstances, I would have been grossed out and sent it back. Actually, no. To be fair, if it's on the plate and not on the food, like if it's like just on the edge, I'd probably just brush it off. If it was on the food, then I'd be.
From not including like meals at home, because it's slightly different.
Yeah.
The one time I had hair in my food, I think I was having manouche at school, and there was like this thick black hair,
Ooh.
and I ripped out that section that the hair was in, threw it away, and finished eating the rest of it.
That works. I mean, you're talking to a guy who was so hungry one morning and was on the train heading somewhere. I hadn't had any breakfast, and there was a muffin that had its top picked at, but it still had the stump in its little wrapping.
No,
So I undid the wrapping, held it by the stump that had been the bit that had been picked at, and I ate the stump up until the point where it was just before the bit where the other person had been picking at it. And I'm not one for blueberry muffins, but this was okay.
Why? What's wrong with blueberry muffins?
Oh, blueberries are a very
Oh,
sinister.
but do they have to be on a train for an hour first?
Yeah,
Okay.
it wasn't bad. I mean, I was starving. I had no other option. I wasn't going to eat anytime soon, and I was just like, look, I can either be hungry or I can just have this one thing, and just not eat the bit that was touched.
What's the grossest thing either of you have eaten?
probably some like Asian meal that's probably like half still alive or some shit.
Oh,
What you have?
No, I can't stand like things that calamari or snails and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, I can't eat that.
Snails I can understand.
Snails?
Calamari I can...
I can have
See,
the
I don't
rings
like
or whatever.
seafood, but I wish I could eat seafood.
Love snails.
I can have calamari rings.
Oh, calamari rings are lovely. But I've eaten snails on several occasions.
Oh,
I've eaten them in a French restaurant in Sydney, and then
and then from my backyard.
no, you got to eat. There's a proper way to actually get them ready to be cooked and then cook them. And they have
remind me of oysters. They both look disgusting.
oysters are a little strong, I must admit.
Oysters
don't
look
know
like
what you
someone
guys think.
sneezed on a shell.
Yes,
Yes.
but I had oysters that were cooked with garlic and cheese on top, and when it was cooked, it looked a lot different to having it raw. Having it raw is like drinking seawater that's slimy with snot in it. Where eating it cooked, it's just like eating a mussel or a scallop. So if you can
Yeah,
try
that-
it cooked, it's definitely a lot better than eating it raw.
Well, if I'm going to Japan, I don't want to walk away and say that I didn't try stuff. And there are going to be times where I will downright refuse to eat something, but I will try it at least.
Try the blowfish. Told it's deadly.
I don't have a death wish.
In fact, there was a little while ago, literally just a couple of weeks ago, there was like a big call out in a section of Japan where they believe parts of the blowfish which were poisonous were accidentally sold as opposed to the quote-unquote safer section of the blowfish. And knowing how
lovely.
dangerous the venom is, they were like desperately trying to track down like 10 people who
Yeah, I can
purchased
imagine.
it. Haven't heard anything from it since, but one thing
That's
Scary.
yeah.
that's scary.
It is. Like it's a people complained when they found like there was horse meat and stuff in
Oh, the
you know
lasagnas in Britain.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is I mean that's not that bad. I mean it's still meat at the end of the day. You don't. The issue is more that you didn't know what you were consuming, in my eyes, than the meat itself.
Yeah.
But
That's true.
like it's not going to kill you. It's just it's still meat.
That's
Like,
actually
that's an actual issue.
well. I was actually looking. I actually looked this up again just this week. I wanted to know what horse meat tastes like. And apparently, from what one person said, it was a sweeter type of meat, somewhere between beef and venison. So a little bit gamey, a little bit meaty, and a bit sweeter. But I don't know. People tend to really not like the idea of consuming a horse because people.
What's this? It's the same reason why people are put off by eating a dog or a cat. It's just
Or even
there's that connection. It's like, oh, but the lovable creatures that we all love, and then you look at a cow, you're like, oh, kill it.
Look at veal. I mean, it's a little baby
Yeah.
cow. That's horrible. But then
What's the lamb alternative?
mutton. That's older lamb.
Mutton.
I've always wanted to try
No.
mutton. What? What do you mean?
No, mutton isn't. Yeah, no, like lamb, like a baby lamb.
Yeah. Baby
That's not
lamb is
mutton.
lamb, and older lamb is mutton. What?
I-
What?
No, but I thought there was a cut of meat that was like from a lamb, but
Yeah,
you
it's
couldn't
lamb.
tell from the name.
It's called lamb.
No, I know what you're talking about, but no. Ah,
What? Wait, here we go. What age do they slaughter lambs?
I know someone who's killed a goat
Oh,
for food. For food.
I know, but still, I couldn't. I mean, I love chickens. That's why I hate. I love.
They were young too.
I
from
love
what
eating
believe.
chickens, but I can't. I love the taste of chicken, but I feel so bad. Man,
He slaughtered that goat.
I guess
Hopefully he listens to this.
if you're stuck, if you're look, if I was in the wild and I was going to die of starvation, I probably would
Oh, absolutely.
bash an animal's skull in until
Yeah.
it died. The Bible actually says we shouldn't eat any animal that was strangled, which I thought was interesting. But so keep that in mind. Here we go.
Probably because it's not humane.
I would have. Well, bleeding to death would be probably very horrific as well. I don't know which of the two, being strangled or bleeding.
But if you're hunting for food, bleeding can sometimes be an unavoidable
That's true.
like result. Because if you're not precise with your aiming, then it's going to cause bleeding.
Well, apparently hunters, those who hunt for fun, like not birds that shoot them with buckshot and there's literally just a splattering of blood, but no, the people who hunt deer and things like that, they get the first shot off and then it's tracking the animal afterwards and then hunting it down as the poor thing slowly dies, which is horrific, but apparently it's huge fun. But there, I'm sure the whole stalking it and following the tracks and the trails of blood would be, I guess, intriguing, maybe. If not brutal.
If you try and put that in context too, that's the equivalent of walking down the street as people were following you, either you knowingly being followed or unbeknownst to you, and like there's just someone behind you always like just lurking, waiting for a moment. That's what it's like.
Well, we're not hunting people, are we?
No, but if you put it in context, like the whole like kind of mind games.
Yeah, it
These
is.
poor creatures just like trying to survive and not
Sadistic.
really giving it a chance.
Well, it is the food chain. I mean, a shark will eat a smaller fish and it'll rip it to shreds. I mean, oh, geez, look at friggin' killer whales. Which aren't whales, they're dolphins, and they are vicious. They'll just poke 1,000 holes into a poor whale and slowly bleed the thing out and then eat it. Horrific.
Yeah, but that's a bit different. That's the animal world.
Yeah, but
I don't know. It's
we still eat meat to survive. We need the iron.
no, I
and the protein.
know, but we're not hunting it as a sport beforehand.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So
The idea is to do it in the most humane way possible. I don't know if we necessarily do. I'm sure a lot of the cattle and livestock are treated poorly in a lot of places before they're slaughtered?
Here we go. I've got a list actually of the typical slaughter age for each animal, and
Oh, lovely.
lambs come between 6 to 8 months, which shocks me actually.
No.
Chickens 1 day. That can't be right. How can these Oh, in the male egg industry, or we all knew that they were killed off straight away. Veal is 24 weeks.
The male egg industry.
If they are getting chickens to breed and the chickens that are born are male, they are pretty much killed straight away because they
Do males not make a good egg
ma-
to consume?
males can't lay eggs.
Oh, right.
It's only
Wait, but
the hens
for breeding, right? I get you.
Yeah, the roosters are killed. Well, the baby roosters are killed. The baby
I know you said
hens-
breeding, it just didn't register.
Okay, not to worry. We got past that hurdle.
I was still thinking like eating eggs. Like, what difference would a male egg make?
Oh, I see. I see. Sorry. So you meant
Yeah.
you thought I meant the like.
Yeah, I know you said
Eggs.
breed. That's what I mean. Like, I was
Yeah.
still in a different mindset.
Okay. Let's see. Rabbits, goats, geese. People eat geese, turkeys, turkey. Oh,
Yeah, people, whatever.
If it walks, we eat it.
People can, yes,
And
people can eat anything,
fuck it.
and they will eat anything.
If you don't eat it, we fuck it. If we don't fuck it, we eat it.
Like, I mean, we eat moldy milk for God's sake.
Yeah. But there's bacteria in
delicious.
everything, dude. Including.
No, I know, but like, if you think about all the things that you wouldn't think that you could or should eat, like moldy,
Blue vein.
like to be there when somebody decided to, moldy milk was a delicious thing to consume.
Well, even
An
olives.
interesting day.
Have you seen olives on a olive branch, like in a proper olive tree?
I don't believe so.
Cousin, have you?
Nope.
Olives.
I hate olives.
Oh, okay. Well, you don't.
Oh yeah,
You would, of course.
that olive burger.
They olives in their natural state, you don't eat. You have to pickle them first before you can actually eat them because they're foul. And who knows how they found that out? I mean, how would they find out that if you pickle an olive, that's when it tastes good?
I mean, most of that stuff would be trial and error.
But how?
Like, some guy would have been into it and be like, "Oh, this is disgusting,"
Yeah.
and maybe even partly born out of necessity. Maybe they were in a region where all they had was olive trees, so they had to try and think of recipes for, or try and do something with them. Because I mean, if you think about it, if you live in an area where there's a lot of olive trees, even if you had every other food source available to you, you'd be like, "Well, surely these things have to do something. They're terrible to bite into. What can we do with them?"
What about a pine cone? Why don't we just dip that in honey for a week and see if that's edible?
You know what? It sounds like a fantastic idea.
To be fair, they look like you should be able to break off the little pieces and dunk them in something.
The pine cones?
The pine cones, yeah, they got little tabby bits that kind
You
of.
know what it reminds me of? You know those. I don't know what they're called exactly, but those honey sticks. You're meant to use them to get honey out of stuff, and it's like the round little
Oh yeah.
thing at the end of a stick that has the grooves cut into it.
Love those. Yep.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had one.
It's as a kid I was obsessed and I wanted one so bad and I finally got one and I was like, oh cool, all I need now is honey to put it in. honey.
Do you know what I'm talking about, Shops?
No? Yeah.
You might if you see it. This thing.
It's a honey wand, I think they're called.
I don't know. I just typed in honey stick.
Honey sticks. You can get literal sticks of honey, but oh wow, space age honey wand. Wow. But yeah, they look pretty cool. So you collect the honey. They look like little beehives almost.
Yeah, they do actually.
I'm pretty sure that's what they model it on, but
I always thought that the grooves were meant to like hold as much honey as possible.
yeah, I assume that would be the. You'd want it not. Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. Actually, let's find out. How does a honey stick work? Honey dipper. There we go.
Honey dipper, is that what they're called?
Yes. It's a kitchen utensil used to collect viscous liquid, generally honey, from a container.
I thought honey wand sounded more Harry Potterish. Here we go. Yeah, you're right. Honey
Oh,
wand.
there's a method to using these apparently.
Oh, well, I've been doing it wrong all these years, I guess.
The idea is to dip the grooved spiral end into the liquid, then slowly twirl the handle between the thumb and fingers while in transport to prevent dripping.
Oh yeah, I always used to do that. You keep spinning it around to make sure nothing falls out before it reaches your toast or your sandwich or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I always did that with a spoon anyway.
Yeah, makes sense.
It doesn't say what the grooves are for exactly.
I'm guessing
So
it
let's
was
just assume it's meant to hold more liquid.
practicality. I'm guessing. Yeah,
Maybe.
the honey is held because basically, if it didn't have the grooves, it would just be a poke.
It'd be a dildo almost.
Almost an anal wand.
An anal one. There we go.
They're real, trust me. Read about it in my Kama Sutra book.
Is that the one I found in the garage?
That
Oh,
was
wait,
a
that was
ca-
about babies.
that was
wasn't it?
about childbirth.
Oh,
Ew!
never mind.
What's wrong with you tonight, Nuggsy?
I couldn't remember what it was. I just remember there was
A baby on the front.
vaginas and stuff.
Oh,
I didn't
probably.
even see the front.
I think they do need a vagina for a baby. I heard.
Oh, I don't know.
Mm.
Where are you getting your? Where's your sauce? I need sauces.
We got ketchup, tomato, barbecue. Well, actually,
Ooh.
ketchup and
Which one would you suggest?
I met a guy. He taught me the wonders of mixing 50% honey, 50% barbecue and 50% tomato sauce.
That man is a man after my own heart.
He was is genius.
What I've been doing, when I take rissoles to work,
Yeah.
if I have any rissoles or like kind of meat like rissoles, I mix a bit of barbecue sauce and American mustard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll mix in a bit of garlic dip or
Aioli?
toom as Shabs knows it.
No garlic.
Yeah, like it's like garlic dip or something.
I love tune.
Yeah, garlic.
It's fantastic.
Sounds amazing.
Thank you for the pronunciation, Shabs.
Ah, there you go.
Doom. They used to have a beekeeping course through TAFE, but they don't have it anymore by the looks of it. It lasted it was a 40-hour course, so it was, I'm guessing, done within a week. And you would become a qualified beekeeper through TAFE, but it was only all the way out in regional New South Wales. But I so badly wanted to do it just so I could have it in my resume and be like, at an interview and be like, they'll be looking through it and be like, oh, you did a beekeeping course. I'm like, yeah, and just be
That
able
would
to
be pretty
talk.
cool.
But they don't. Looks like it's no more, which is really sad.
Maybe it's more a thing you pass down than it is something you can learn.
Oh no! Hang on. I put beekeeper as one word. Now I've changed it into 2 words. There's actually a certificate 3 in captive animals, but is that beekeeping? Oh no, that's zookeeping. Animal keeping in what? I guess. What was it? Animal keeping in wildlife parks, aquariums, and theme parks. That's nothing to do with. Yeah, I think it's going to be a private course done through a company now. But
Yeah, maybe.
I just wanted a government certificate saying I could be a beekeeper. What trade did you study? Beekeeping. What? Why do you become?
And what do you do for a living? I work at a retail store. Oh,
Yeah. Well,
fair enough.
hopefully for not much longer. But
Hopefully.
it doesn't matter. I got a
Have you?
buttload of
I
certificates.
actually.
What?
I don't know if he was a beekeeper per se, but I called up a guy about bees once.
What? Just bees in
uh,
general? Were they in your
yeah.
back garden?
No, they were swarming through one of the vents at the side of the house,
Oh shoot!
and I didn't know what to do with them, and I didn't want to kill them.
No, or upset. them.
No, so I looked up what to do. I looked up for like I don't even remember what it was specifically, but I ended up on this database of beekeepers or people who interacted with bees in the area, and I gave this guy a call, and he was like, "Oh, where are you situated?" And he was like, "Oh, I might be able to
Might be
do something on my
able.
might be able to do something on my home tomorrow or something." But yeah, he was telling me like he said usually they may have got the scent of something. They'd probably be gone in like a couple of days or whatnot, or like not a couple of days, by a certain point. Like he asked very specific questions. And he was like, "Call me back and let me know if you like still having a problem, if they're still there, whatever." I was like, "No worries."
Mm.
Anyway, this was the afternoon. I think I'd come home from work or whatever. And Dad rocks up, and he's like, "Oh," I said, "Do you see all the bees outside?" He's like, "Yeah." It's like, "Oh yeah, I called someone about them." It's like, "Oh, I just went out there with the spray can and sprayed them all."
Oh.
Yeah. So that was for nothing. It was pointless. That whole conversation trying to get these bees moved away, and he just went out there with the fucking bug spray and sprayed them all.
We're having a bee crisis.
I was
Well,
like, "Thanks, Dad."
We're
Thanks.
losing bees across the world, and there's no explanation, and scientists are baffled. And your father, in one fell swoop, killed a colony in a vicious attack. Where is the
It was a butchering.
Where's the slaughter age of bees on this animal
Yeah,
slaughter page?
That's right. Should open up his own abattoir of bees.
For
The bee
bees.
abattoir.
Yeah,
Animal.
vicious man. Oh well. So, anyway, very interesting. You know what? This is one section of the podcast we can maintain because I did learn this. This week, I learnt that you can, in fact, train a mosquito not to bite you.
Does killing it count?
No,
Because that'll show it.
definitely would show it, but try and find non-lethal methods of dealing with them.
But I hate mosquitoes.
A lot of people do. They are the number one out of man killer threat. The number one threat to the human race out of all the other living species, animals, creatures, insects, bugs, and all that kind of stuff. They spread more disease than any other creature.
That doesn't surprise me.
They are horrible, horrible things, and I hate being itchy. If I it kills me.
So, I can get past that. It's more when, depending where you've been bitten as well, it's more like, say if it's on your arm or something, or on your fingers, and you're working with your hands and you keep knocking it. That's the most annoying part.
On the
about
knuckle.
mosquito bites.
Been bitten on the knuckle. Oh, it is horrible. It is.
Yes, I had one bite me on the knuckle of my thumb.
Oh.
And I couldn't really move my finger.
It's
Ouch.
excruciating.
Yeah.
It is.
So what I usually do for those types of mosquito bites, I throw a band-aid on it. That way, if I brush anything, it doesn't cause like an irritation.
I'll just sever the limb. No way in hell. No.
Take it. But it's just take the arm. I don't want it anymore.
It's useless to
Dead
me.
to me.
Oh
It
no.
went and got itself bitten.
Is that like the knuckle on your finger or the knuckle on your toe? Is just
Have you ever been bitten above the eyebrow? I haven't been bitten above the eyebrow before.
I think maybe once.
They just the most annoying thing because there have been times where it'll be in my room of a nighttime. So and you huddle under the blankets, you make sure there's no crevice that or like gap that they can find that they can slip into secretively.
Uh-huh.
But it doesn't mean anything. They can just attack your face anyway. So unless you're smothering yourself in your sleep, there's no escape from the little bastards.
Well, what this study found is that if you swat a mosquito, they will learn to associate your scent, because we all have different scents, and apparently they smell us. They'll learn to associate your scent, and they'll remember that scent as a threat. And they'll remember it apparently up to 24 hours, which I thought was very interesting. I'm guessing if they were really about to die and were desperate for a feed, they'd probably still bite you, but apparently they can be trained, at least for a brief time, which is interesting.
So you wave them away, and then the next night they come back and hound you again. You're like, "Look, I've told you the first time. Go away." And it goes away. It comes back the next day. Look, how many times? At that point, you just kill the fucking thing.
Oh, mate, if I could have a house that had like one of those insect buzzers that like every deli seems to have in every room, if I could have
the zappers.
the
Yeah.
zappers, I would
Isn't that
have.
getting annoying though?
Oh, if it
It'd be worth it.
It'd be worse. I find itching a lot worse. And I'm living with
You know,
audio problems anyway, so it doesn't matter.
the worst itches are by far the ones where there's nothing wrong. Like when you see one flea on your arm, and no matter what happens for the rest of the day, you feel like something's crawling on you.
Oh yeah, that happens. That always happens, especially with my legs. Every year, whenever the flea season hits, even though we do our cats, they still manage to get into the house, and yeah, I can always feel them. And I look down, it's like nothing there, and I'll do that 20 times in an hour.
It's so frustrating.
I actually shaved my legs at one point because I was like, "You got no hair to fucking knock down," and then fleas would jump on me, and I wouldn't know, and so I would get bitten either way, and I was like, I can't win."
I love that you went to the extreme of shaving your legs. You're like, that's it, the hair's coming off.
Yeah. Oh, it's a nice feeling. But I didn't shave them. I trimmed it down to like half a millimeter. I have shaved them before in the past, like when I was still in high school for some reason. Ask Lever, he'll remember. But
Did he make fun of you for it?
Oh, of course he did. But I shaved the hair down to a fine millimeter, and then. It's very interesting when hair is short and cut at with a thick kind of end, because I got pins and needles. Not pins and needles. What's the other thing? Goosebumps. I got goosebumps on my legs, and it causes the hair to react and to stand up. The problem is though, when it's so short, it makes you feel like a porcupine. You get this prickly sensation going up your leg, and you realize. It's all these short little sharp hair edges standing to attention.
Oh, did they ever get caught in your pants?
What?
Because sometimes, if I haven't shaved, like, and I'll move my head around, sometimes a little hair will get caught in like the top of the collar of my shirt or something. Have you never had that happen before?
My leg hair?
No, well, I'm saying specifically with my face. I was asking if that ever happened with your leg hair when it was shorter. Did it ever get like caught in
anything? No.
In like the just like the fabric of your pants.
I've got a feeling it was during summertime, and it was from the knee down. So I think the fact that I was wearing shorts, I was okay. I know that I've had times where my beard hair. I'd have like a zip-up jumper, and somehow a beard hair would get caught inside the zip, and that was always excruciating.
Ouch.
Yeah. So, not a pleasant sensation, but it happens.
As it does.
Wow.
That's annoying.
It is.
You ever shaved your body, Nuggsy?
Like every morsel of hair?
It's like, like Ed said he shaved his legs or his arms or something. Have you ever done that?
Have I shaved other parts of my body? Yeah. Not. Actually, yeah. In different ways.
Okay.
Have you waxed?
Yes.
Oh, mate. Actually, to be fair, well,
Once. It wasn't pleasant, but I've tried it. It's not great.
It wasn't. I was once in high school, and there was this kind of. This was like when I was in year 12, and there was like a year 11 chick. And it was a very liberal kind of school because there was no school uniforms or anything like that, and so she was this kind of like younger girl with a lot of energy, kind of like just an Asian girl who had no problem being talking about certain sexual things that I wouldn't normally talk about. So she's a very interesting character, but one day she came into school with a whole bunch of wax strips and waxed my arms from the elbows down to the wrist.
Did you know you were a willing participant?
Yes. Oh, I mean, yeah. I was down to do it because I wanted to prove to women everywhere that getting waxed doesn't hurt. And it didn't really hurt all that much. I took it. Then later on in the year, I got a part of my leg waxed because a wax strip was stuck on me as a practical joke. So I pulled it off, and that hurt a little bit more. But the arms didn't hurt one No, well, no, that's not true. It didn't hurt nearly as much as I thought it would, and
Huh.
it felt incredibly smooth.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I thought I don't know, to be honest.
The main issue is when you're getting to nerve endings. Like if you get if you get your feet and your toes waxed, that is excruciating.
Yeah, no, screw that.
Nose hairs. Have either of you plucked out nose hairs?
I have. Yes.
Oh.
Not like, mistakenly.
Wait, it was mistakenly or it wasn't mistakenly?
No, as in it was done mistakenly.
Oh, okay. It makes your eyes water straight away.
Yeah.
It is the most painful thing. Women have childbirth. Men have nose hair.
Yeah.
Seriously,
And
I'm
just hair in general.
yeah. It's like a flock carpet.
Flock carpet.
Flock. Isn't that what they call them? Flock? Frock? Frocky carpet?
I don't. This
Fluffy carpet.
fluffy carpet.
Frocky carpet. Not like a... Far out, what's it called?
Fluffy.
No. It's... Top... Wait. Come on, Google. Let's find this out. Different types of carpet.
I mean, I'm getting results for flock carpet. But
Flock.
Like,
That's it, flock.
it's
Yeah.
not. That's not helping me with exactly what it is.
I hate carpet anyway. I just want timber floors everywhere.
Yeah.
That's
I
it.
don't. Carpet's not bad in winter, but for the most part, I prefer not carpet.
What
So
is-
much easier. You don't have to worry about vacuuming all the time and like
Yeah.
getting dirt and
Cats
stains and
pissing on it and
and fleas.
fleas.
That was one of the biggest issues we had with carpet. Fleas.
Yeah, fleas, definitely. Or even if a dog decides to take a poop, it's so much easier. Or a cat vomits. That's the one thing. We have an entire house. 30% of it is
Yeah.
tiled. The other 65% of it is timber, and the final 5% has carpet. And where do the cats vomit 90% of the time? On the carpet. And cleaning that up is horrible. On the timber or tile, it's easy. So, a paper towels, mop it up, spray it down, mop it up again,
Yeah.
you're done. If it's on the friggin' carpet, you gotta scoop it up. You've gotta then get the carpet cleaner and oh my gosh, and water and a bucket and.
I think
Shit.
I was the reason why some of the carpet in our house was ripped up because I have asthma.
Oh,
It used to be worse when I was a kid.
okay.
It's more the dust. But yeah, the dust.
Oh, sorry, yeah, asthma, of course.
Yes. But for the most part, cats have been the reason why we have no carpet. Because as soon as a cat pisses on carpet, you're better off just getting rid of the carpet. It's easier.
Well, the carpet in the bedroom is so old. It is so old. And I'm pretty sure I've wanted to get it removed, but it's probably never going to happen, so
You have to ask permission from the dragon.
yeah. Well, when we
Skeletor.
inherit the house, the whole thing's just going to be knocked down anyway, so what's it matter if we've got dingy old carpets? It's going to go in the bin.
That's true.
Mm.
When are you planning? When are you planning that event, Ed?
When about a week after we inherit the house. Boom, it's
No,
gonna-
I meant when the inheriting part.
Oh, as soon as possible. That's not nice.
Get it working, mate. Get
Oh.
it going.
Alright,
Do the website first, and then
okay, and then I'll do that. Okay,
yeah,
good
priorities.
Good to know. It's a different type of carpet stains. Let's see, we've got wine, Coke, tea, orange juice, blood, barbecue sauce, coffee, chewing gum. Oh wow, urine, soy sauce. Okay, enough about carpet.
Although you wouldn't see soy sauce in a black carpet.
You wouldn't see semen on a white carpet. So you just got to make sure you masturbate in the room with the white carpet, and you only eat.
Doesn't it stain yellow though?
Fine, we'll get a yellow carpet then. Oh, gosh.
So you'll see it for the first part, and then you just have to wait a bit, and it'll be fine.
Fine, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll only have Asian dishes in the room with the black carpet.
Asian dishes.
Yeah, with the soy sauce.
Right. Correct.
Yeah.
I was really confused about that. That makes sense.
And then we'll put brown carpet down near the barbecue for the
Well,
barbecue
African
sauce.
American carpet.
Oh, sorry, you're right. African American carpet down. And or indigenous Australian carpet down,
Yes,
and
that's true.
for the barbecue sauce.
Question
Yes.
before we start to wrap up. What are your thoughts on Australia Day? Because there's a big hullabaloo over here.
Yeah.
Every
Oh,
time it rolls around.
shame
every
Lever's not
year.
here. Would have been great.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
Piss them off! Kill them all!
That's. Well, actually, I want to hear from Cousin first. What's your opinion on this whole should we change the date, should we not kind of thing with Australia Day?
Yeah, the argument is, should we change the date, or should we get rid of it, or should we keep it the same?
Just keep it the same. No one's complaining until this year. Just leave it.
They've
People
been
just
complaining for years, though.
Every year.
People just fucking need to grow up, stop being little girls, and just fucking
It's like
enjoy your
Lever's
free
here.
holiday off. You get a day off work. That's all that matters.
Or if you do go to work like I did, you get great pay.
Exactly.
I wouldn't have,
Ah,
but I didn't work on Australia Day anyway. I got out of it.
lucky. Well,
Mm.
this is the thing. Every year, you're right. What is it? January 26th? The quote-unquote
Australia Day?
invasion day.
Yes.
You know what my big argument about this is? Well, the main thing I want to know back then was when the fleets was coming to Australia, were they aware at that point that there are other inhabitants on the islands in Australia? Or were they only... Did they not know about indigenous Australians by that point?
I'd say the convicts may probably either they didn't know or they probably heard rumors. I'd suspect the higher ups probably had an idea that what to expect when they got there, because they'd need to be kind of forewarned in case anything happened, right?
I'm guessing they would have been prepared had they bumped into, say, a different bunch of explorers, be it the Dutch or friggin' anyone really, or again natives to the land. But my big thing is you can't call it Invasion Day if the intention of invasion was never there.
But whether or not it was intended is irrelevant, because that's what happened. If you think about the outcome of the First Fleet, I mean, they pretty much invaded somebody else's territory, took it over, and then treated those inhabitants like shit because they weren't considered human.
Yeah,
They were
terrible.
considered animals.
That's terrible. Terrible
It is.
thing.
So intentions or not, I mean, it's still terrible, and it's still technically...
A very dark period of history.
Yeah, I mean, technically they still invaded. If you want to get down to brass tacks.
So, we will keep January 26th as a historical reference of when the First Fleet landed. But let's have a new day celebrating diversity between everybody.
Just make it a day later.
Let's make it the 20th.
You know what? Why don't we do it on Federation Day?
That's because no one celebrates Federation Day.
No, but have Australia Day on Federation.
No, this isn't. We won't call it Australia Day. We'll call it Everyone Day.
No, but you understand.
I know what you mean.
When is Federation Day? Federation Day.
I don't know. To be honest, it's one of those days that
I know the year.
I know nothing about. I care nothing about it. It's never helped me, and it never will. I never met it at a party. Federation.
You get to bang it at a party.
Oh,
A federation is just the year in which all the states agreed to
be united.
Yeah, to unite and become one country instead of separate
Yeah.
little... Kind of like if Africa turned around and decided to take every single country in Africa and band together to create its own country.
Well, look at the United States after the Civil War. I'm sure that was... I don't know when it became the United States of America, but...
I think it was united before then because they had the Constitution, right? I'm sure that was before the American Civil War.
I'm not qualified
the founding
to answer.
fathers?
I'm sure... But actually, you are well and truly right. The Founding Fathers, I'm guessing, were a lot earlier compared to the
Well,
Civil
that was
War.
1787.
The Civil War was
And Civil War was in the 1800s, I think.
1869, I think?
1861 to 1865.
Ah, okay. So
Ish,
that was a bit
give or
off.
take.
It's a bit off.
Yeah.
But, okay.
So that's about 100 years. No, less than 100 years. Close enough. It was about 100 years.
When did America become the United States? Become known as the United States. January 4th, 1776. Well before the Civil War.
Yeah.
In this sense, it was the first
Actually,
new
that
nation.
would have been what would have helped. That was the whole like when they tried to break away from England. That was that whole thing.
Independence Day.
Yeah.
January 4th. I mean July 4th. 4th of July. Far out. 4th of July. Of course.
Yeah, and then the French
Declared.
helped them, I believe.
Bloody frogs.
Yeah.
That's okay. We
So
still
neither
got
hadn't
part
intervened.
Yeah, well, it would have been a very. I wonder if, in that case, America would have been more like Australia in that sense, had the British
Britain.
won, had Britain
Or
claimed America.
Would they be similar to Canada, not including the French parts?
I'd say that. Actually, I would say that America would be closer to Canada, but they wouldn't. It wouldn't be. I'm guessing. We don't know. Maybe we should. I'm sure someone's written a fictional piece about this, but it wouldn't be the same political system as they have now. I'm pretty sure they would have the metric system, and they would probably drive on the left side of the road as well, which are all important things to me right now. Driving on the left, that's important. Actually, I don't care.
It is.
I would happily drive on the right-hand side of the road if America decided to use the metric system. We'll trade one for one.
From what I've heard, driving on the left side is better anyway, and it has to do with your dominant, because you know how you have a dominant hand, like you have one hand that does everything right.
That's very personal, Nuggsy, but yes, I do.
Yes. You have the same thing with your eyes. But I think the eye that you use most is weaker than the one you don't use as much, or something like that.
That explains why.
And because
that's
you're driving on the left, it's the turn. It's something to do with driving.
Okay, so your left eye is potentially sharper, thus being better
Yes.
to use for okay, that is interesting.
Because you favor your right side, you use your right eye more because it's your favored side. Kind of, I think it's something like that.
Well, you know why it was a thing, why Britain, it was common for people to travel on the left-hand side as opposed to the right, and then thus it became...
Is it to do with swords and shields? Defending with the left and then attacking with your right?
No, more with... You're right, you're half right. It's to do with the swords, but when they're not being used, the sword in its sheath, what do they call it? The thing you put the sword in?
Scabbard.
Scabbard. I thought there was a thing in Egypt that ate people.
It's a scarab.
Okay, I really should pay attention. The scarab with a sword in it would sit on the left
No,
hip.
scabbard.
That's what I said.
Scarab is the eating thing. I think you said scarab.
I probably said both. The swordy holdy thing would be on the left-hand side on the belt, or whatever was holding it.
Right.
So you would move to the left, so that way there was a chance that if you walked on the right, and there was a gentleman coming the other way with a sword also on his left, because you draw it with your right hand.
Right.
So if you were on the right-hand side and he was on, and you passed on his right and he passed on your right, there was a chance that the two swords would clang and hit together because it would always poke out at an awkward angle. So you'd move to the left, and I'm guessing that's that's why we drove on the left, because it was just how we would walk in everyday life. So to avoid unnecessary sword touching, we did that. And then the Americans came along and messed everything up.
Well, I heard that part of... I mean, I'm sure there's multiple sources that are either
Tomato, barbecue,
incorrect.
ketchup, white sauce.
Don't forget steak and
All
Worcester sauce.
Aioli, all the good ones. Okay.
I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that claimed that Napoleon had a hand in the switching to the right hand side of the road.
Really?
Yeah, it was something to do with. It was to do with swords and shields and making it harder for the enemy or something.
Okay.
But it's one of those things that's more hearsay than it is fact, based in fact.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there are really any sources that back up why we drive on the left and the right, like solid sources, more like conjecture and hearsay.
Okay. I guess that makes
Also,
sense.
Federation Day is on the 1st of January 1901. So we can't really do Australia Day on the 1st of January.
Why not?
I suppose we could, but and then you have Christmas, New Year's, and then Australia Day.
What
It's a bit
happens on
jam-packed, isn't it?
January 1st? Nothing happens January 1st.
The hangovers, that's what happens on January 1st.
Really? Then you have a reason to have more beer. Hair of the dog.
That's true.
Yeah.
Although you don't get a day off work, so that's a negative.
Really? Not first. Not really?
1st of January?
Yeah.
You're already not working.
I don't know.
mean,
I
unless you're-
normally don't.
Retail's probably a bit different.
It depends. I'm usually not in Sydney that time of year, so I'm not normally working. Anyway, so. Did I
Well,
work?
because that would still be considered holidays at that point. New Year's, yeah, it'd be a public holiday for
Oh.
the most part.
Good.
Some retailers probably have like half a day or something, like they did for Chrissy.
Or good pay, at least good pay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we need a new date. I don't mind change. There's no point getting rid of it because it should be a celebration about everyone in Australia, not like one specific type of person. But I can see why people are taking issue with the date, so you may as well just change it. Like, you don't gain or lose anything by changing the day.
But you can't change history.
No, the point isn't to change history. It's to, I mean, we're like this is the future, right? This is about now.
It's the present now. The future's in the future.
Yeah, but this is for the future. Like,
Okay.
It's,
Bit of a mind bend right there. It's a touchy subject. Part of me agrees with cousin, like, you know.
yeah, I
Get it.
get that too. Like, you'd think that we'd be past it, but
Yeah.
it's hard to come from that point of view when you're not in that situation.
Oh, agreed. And I'll definitely take their side into consideration. That's why I say
Yeah.
half of me is with cousin, the other half is with them. I have to be true neutral about this because it's the only way you can look at these things.
Nah, people are stupid.
And you're half right.
I'm taking the Labour.
People are stupid, but
I want people to think that Labour's still here.
Oh, thanks, man. Actually, you're doing a
we
good
should
job.
probably talk more.
Yeah.
Liver just says whatever comes to mind.
Yeah. And you know what? Fuck you. Trying to think what's a classic Lever
I
saying?
don't know. I wanted to bring something up, but they're all. At the start of the podcast, I didn't realize Lever wasn't going to be here. I was going to issue you and Lever a challenge.
Oh.
No mention of
Gender
no
or
mention of
race.
discrimination whatsoever, including gender and race. If you could get to a podcast without mentioning either of those,
And then you bring up Australia Day.
I don't know. Yeah, well, it's a hot topic. It's a legitimate thing.
It is a legitimate thing, but it's...
Yeah, but this isn't about discrimination. This is about like whether or not we should change the date.
But it's discriminating against... Oh, I'm not gonna... I can't... My brain is just...
I mean, that's
checked out.
perspective, but yes, I understand what you mean.
It's probably discrimination towards both parties. And you know what, Nuggsy? We are all human. We all have flaws.
Yes, we do.
Under
Yes,
our
we are.
feet.
We're fickle and messy and yes.
Angry and upset. I mean... The day when Ariel Winter No. Said I wouldn't bring that up again.
No.
Actually, yeah, I was kind of wanting to move away from that because, like the Hollywood sex scandals, it was becoming a very repetitive and
Yes, it was.
annoying thing to talk about. But it
Yes.
always is in the news, and I can't stop
There's-
reading the news.
There's a lot of things we can talk about other than. There's so many things to talk about.
Like Elon,
Newsworthy. Anyway, I thought we were steering away from news.
the Elon Musk selling
Elon.
flamethrowers.
Selling flamethrowers.
I didn't really read the article, but apparently he's prototyping, I'm guessing, household flamethrowers to defend against the zombie apocalypse.
Interesting.
They look like a laser gun, to be honest with you. And when I looked at it, I was like, are they developing laser weaponry? Please tell me this is a thing. We are entering this part of human existence where we're developing laser cannons and things like that.
He's
Las
a very
guns.
interesting man. That guy.
Oh yeah, crazy as a cut snake.
I don't know if laser weapons are possible. It's the same reason why you can't have a lightsaber.
That's it. I'm done. Killing myself right now.
My
Next-
purpose is ruined.
Oh. What? Yes. But next you're going to tell me there's going to be no such thing as a hoverboard.
Oh no, hoverboards exist. That's a government conspiracy. They're trying to use them by not telling us about them.
Thought so.
Yeah.
Classic government.
Yeah. Bastards. Illuminati and
Yeah.
they're in cahoots.
That's it.
Cahoots is a great word.
Jesus really rose on the second day, not the third day.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a big one that they,
That's-
omitted from the Bible.
Is that real?
No.
Gosh, that'd be scary. Imagine. Oh man, now I'm scared.
That never made sense to me because around Easter, he was meant to have died on a Friday because you have Good Friday, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure he rose 3 days later, but you celebrate Easter Sunday.
Well, it's Easter Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
So do you count the Friday as the 3 days, or do you start from the Saturday? That doesn't make sense to me. Because if I'm counting to the end of the week, I'm not counting the day that I'm currently in, I'm counting the day after.
It depends how early it was. See, if
See, there's 3 days left of the week, not 4, because this day's almost over.
don't forget, Catholics will start celebrating Easter ages beforehand anyway, so who really knows? We weren't there. We don't know. We just don't know.
I don't know, it always confused me. He's meant to have risen 3 days later, but he dies on a Friday and we celebrate it on a Sunday.
Maybe we should try and get a someone who's qualified. Well, I'll see if I can get a priest to join us next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe he can exercise liver while he's here.
Maybe. I think we could all do it an exorcism.
Circumcision as well.
Yeah. You know what? I'm still trying to get my head around the Holy Trinity. Like,
The Father,
the
Son,
Son,
and
the
Holy Ghost.
and the Holy Ghost. Apparently, all of them are God, but yet all of them are separate, but together they are God.
Yeah.
There's a great picture here. I literally just picked up. The sun represents the Father, the light represents Christ, and the heat of the sun represents the Holy Spirit. 3 different aspects, but all part of the sun.
Right.
Hmm.
That's an analogy for that, yeah.
Analogy. This kind of makes it a bit easier for my simple
I
brain.
think it's meant to be because, I mean, we're all meant to have come from God anyway.
Yeah. But God is God. Jesus is God. And the Holy
Yes.
Spirit is God. But if Jesus is God, why did God have to kill God? In order for God to then forgive everyone. It's something that... And then what's the Holy Spirit doing? It's just over there being a part of God, but we don't know what that part of God is.
Oh no, the Holy Spirit is a part of everyone, Ed.
Oh, okay.
Especially when you're sleeping. When it likes to party.
Well, that's good to know, because it means I haven't missed out on nearly as much partying as I thought.
No, it's
Yeah.
just a slumber party.
Oh, okay, that's good then.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's all very confusing.
Religion, it can get very messy, yes.
Yes. You know what? Let's start talking about religion from now on.
Okay,
We'll
let's
move
do it.
move away from.
Yeah.
Let's start off-
We've gone from like a weird news podcast to like a very hard
philosophical.
left podcast to a very
Oh,
religious podcast. We're covering all our bases.
yeah, we'll make sure we can offend as many different
Yes.
races and cultures and creeds as possible.
Yep. You're in the bread.
That's it. If we're not baking it, it hasn't risen.
The
Speaking
bread
of
of
risen,
life.
Jesus rose on the third day.
That's right.
Anyway, I
Like
think,
just like a nice loaf of bread.
geez, you need to learn how to bake, mate. If it's taking you 3 days to raise your bread.
Look. Mastery takes time.
Oh, okay, you're right. You can't rush these things.
Perfection is key.
And with perfection, all good, perfect things must come to an end, including the podcast. Not that I can think of anything else we can do. Leber's not here, so I won't even worry about the game because I only play it because it upsets Leber. Well, I'd like to thank Nuggsy and Cousin for joining me tonight.
No worries, mate.
Thank you for being
Here too.
yeah.
I didn't know where I was going with that. If you haven't... What?
Yeah, we didn't. Were you reluctant to do it without Leber, or?
I was just worried that... Oh, actually, we've gone quite a bit over. I was thinking about it, but we are at 90 minutes.
Ooh.
91 minutes, so I figured we better wrap this up like a kebab.
Yeah, we can talk about it after the podcast.
Easy. Well, until next time, people, look after yourselves, look after each other. Any final messages from you, Cousin?
Take
I
care.
guess I just
Take care of
guess I
myself
just-
because I might not watch this.
Okay. You,
so I
Nuggsy?
just won't ask any more questions then apparently.
We can ask one. You can ask a question. You up?
No, I don't want to ask a question anymore.
No, I need to know what you're going to ask.
When are we ending?
What?
That was my question.
When are we ending?
Yeah.
That just almost ended it.
Well, it could have been ended just then, before, but now it's we've re-rolled the dice of life and a whole new avenue.
End it now!
Wake up for breakfast, peanut butter toast. Open the bread box, shit, there's no loaf, oh no, my toast. How will I get by? Oh, what am I gonna do? No, nothing else will do. I need my loaf. Go down the road to the store. Head to the bakery, but fuck, they've got no more. Oh no, my loaf. How will I get by? No, I don't know what to do. Oh, I think I have a clue. It's in the Bread Podcast.